There we go. There's that. There's that. There's that. Okay. Hi, Cozy. Up. There's Dumpling. Dumpling, you're late. Oh, you guys. Ah, y'all are hilarious. All right. No. Don't feel bad. I stayed there for like 46 minutes and I was getting tired and I was like, okay, I'm done. Hello. Ad's gonna start in about 50 seconds for those of you who are not subbed or are lurking. So heads up for that. And there's the raid. And I don't have this volume on. Nope, 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 nope. This one. There we go. Yay, yay, yay. All right. How is your uh vacation, Dumpling? And morning. No problem. Like I said, I'm going to put a poll out probably tomorrow, and that way you get to vote, and it's multiple days. Multiple days, and it's always on a Wednesday or a Saturday, and I have two Wednesdays. One is at 2 p.m. Eastern time or 6 p.m. Eastern time. The reason why I do that is because I have people who are, i.e., Dumpling and Cozy, who are overseas, so they can't make it to the 6 p.m. one, but they can make it to the 2 p.m. one if they choose to. And then on Saturdays. All right, so raid. And we should be getting an ad soon, so. At which time? Which time? Because on Wednesdays I have two different things. I either have the 2 p.m. or the 6 p.m. And there's the ad. Ooh. Ah. Okay. Not a problem. Then do you make it at the 2 p.m. one? Simple one. Okie dokie, okie dokie, okie dokie. All right, let's do something first. Ah, okay. So you'll be doing the Saturday ones. Okay, not a problem. Nice. Okay. Yeah, that sucked. Um, Once I finish this, I'm gonna show you what Amy got me for a gift. She got me for the loss of Rum Rum. I think it's beautiful. But I want to wait because I don't know if someone's getting ads. Yeah, that sucked. Dumpling, he wasn't even eating or drinking water at the end. That's why I went ahead and put him down. There's no reason to keep him alive. That's how bad it was at the end. So, yes, he did have a happy life with us. Okay, so he lived, he didn't get to see his 12th birthday, but he'd been with me for 12 years. Because, no, I'm sorry, he was with me for 11. Um, so yeah. And I'm not getting rid of the icons. For those of you who do not know, these are all the icons that I made with Romeo. And I'm not getting rid of those. So they are going to stay with me. Because he was a part of the stream. He was part of, so those are staying. Yeah. Um. So yeah. Needless to say, it's been a rough one. All right. So there we go. There's these. All right. Now let's. There we go. Voila. Okay. Okay. All right, we've got those. All right. There's that one. There goes that one. I have not found the fairy stickers yet, but I did find some mushroom ones. I think those are the only ones of mushrooms, right? Oh, we have a mushroom house. Yeah. Where's it? All right. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. As I'm going to find them on that date, and it's going to be a pain in the butt, and it is what it is. No, 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 no. I need to come down one. There we go. Finding those would be interesting. Voila! But I still managed. Not bad. Okay. All right, and then we have red. Okay. Now, all right. So this is 15, 16, 17, 18, 21. right? So, Cozy, how are you liking your setup so far? This was Cozy's idea for this month, so 17th, right? We need this. Okay. Oh my god. Uh, we'll have to see. Oh my goodness. Oh, there they are. Okay. I was like, wait, where's the. I'm still debating on what I'm going to do for books next year. By the way, I did get into the Halloween thing from uh let me think of the name of the thing. Archer and Olive, but I didn't get any of the notebooks per se. I did get the Halloween box though, which will come with the book. Do 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 do. Let's see here. We got those. Okay. All right. So we have that. Over just a tad. Yeah. There. Cozy, are we liking this? uh, there we go. There's the, and we flip it down here. Ta-da-ta-ta. This week I'm going to go see my ma because I got to help her set up her computer. So that's going to be fun. I'm not sure. I'm either doing it this day or this day. I haven't figured out which day. So it's either going to be on Cozy's birthday, which is the 17th, folks, or I'm going to do it on Thursday. Not quite sure what day. I have to talk to Mom about that. So that is that. All right. Yeah. Well, if you're under Windows 10, it will stop updating on October 14th. I'll show you these are the stickers I'm using for the mushrooms. Those are pretty. I found those. No, not really. Ta-da. Ta-da. And then these little things was kind of cute. I was like, ooh, little mushrooms. So there you go. No, it's understandable. I have been last week you missed out. We were doing calculations on what I would have to have for a certain book. And okay, there's that. And then I need one other thing. Fun parts. I think this was actually the book club date. I don't know if I'm going to make it or not, but there goes that. Okay. Crocodile. Nope. Wow. Okay. That's cool. All right. So this is week 38. All right, everybody's in here. Dumpling, you're here. Okay. As I posted in Discord, because uh I'm gonna butcher this, and I'm so sorry, but Undularian, I most people have seen Romeo, and I don't know if you got to see Romeo or not. I know he's been in some of my streams, but not all my streams. Romeo has been part of my life since I found him, or he found us, June 20th of 2024. Sorry, June 20th of 2014. He has been part of my streams and my videos for the longest time. Everybody knew Romeo because he'd come in and say hi and do the only meows, as we like to call it. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm thinking about that too. I was really thinking about that, Dumpling. I was thinking about joining that. So, I posted both in Discord and my Facebook because not many people, follow me everywhere else. And I had to inform people that Romeo's no longer with us because Dumpling is a big fan of Romeo. And so I wanted to make sure everybody knew. Unfortunately, like I said, at the end, he was not drinking water. He wasn't eating. I could not do that anymore. I couldn't let him do that. And so I went ahead and mercilessly put him out of his misery, euthanized him. And like I said, he's been part of my life from the beginning of my streaming career and my YouTube and all that because he's been there. So Amy, who's a good friend of mine, who I met through internet, and sent me this as a gift, and I love it. I told Mary, both Mary and I agreed. This looks like Romeo. The face really is, yeah. And so it was so funny because I turned around and I had to pick up a package, and I was like, okay, I don't know what other things coming in. I pretty much picked up what I needed to pick up. What the heck? And one of the postal people said, the address is that, but the name is not. And when she told me the name, I said, well, I know someone by that name. I said, I don't know why. And this was what was inside. So, yeah. I was going to show this yesterday if anybody had showed up in the Discord hangout. But yeah. So, to me, that it looked like Romeo. I told her, I said, it just looks like Romeo's face, So, yeah. So, that was what I got from Amy, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm trying to keep it away from the other cats so they don't knock it down, yeah. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it, this was something totally, and when I was like, I don't know why she would send me something unless it's because Romeo passed. And that's what that was. I love it. So, there you go. Now, as far as things, okay. All right. Okay, I have a YouTube channel. Now, so far, we'll talk about now getting off that topic onto next year. As some of you know, I have a YouTube channel, and that this is my social media planner. I've been using a Happy Planner, and it's been a vertical layout. Actually, I think I'm going purple and orange next month, since that's October. Cozy, so that's what's going to happen. So there we go. There's this. This is what I use as my social media plan. Next year, because I got the Happy Planner sale was going on, I'm going to change it up. Coffee theme. I also bought these lovely metal rings, which was pretty cool. I liked them. And this time, I'm going to do a horizontal layout. I think I figured out what I'm going to do. It's going to be interesting for the next next year how this is going to go. Can't wait to see how this goes. So this is going to be my social media planner. Now I'm still debating on whether, because I will not be in this book next year. Okay, this is going to finish out this year, and I decided, so this I'm going to go either square or A5, and I found a bunch of journals I could do. The question ends up being, what do you do? You know? So, I'm not going to be in a B5. I'm going to get away from the B5, and I'm either going to do a square or I'm going to do a A5, which means there's going to be more than 2 books, I think. Now, this is my journal, which I'm still not doing a lot of writing in, but hey, that's that. This is an A5. This is my pull-it card. I'm thinking, Cozy, they have on Amazon, those notebooks that you like. Yeah, to give you an idea, this is what it looks like. This is an A5, this is a B5. I don't know if I have a B6. Anywho, but that's the difference between the two. And A4, I want to say, is this. Yeah, I do actually have one of those. This one's very hard because you can't put it in here because it's wider than the B5, but the height is shorter. Let's see. Okay, and then A5 is a little bit taller, not by much, than the square, but it sticks out more. Okay. B5, I don't know if I have a B5 running around here. They're smaller. They're a 5x7. 5x7. A5 is the most commonly used notebook in bullet journaling. Okay. Most people use an A5. All right. Like I said, this one is not common. This one is definitely not common. So, what I'm thinking, I'll show you my lineup. This is my morning pages. My morning pages is sort of based off of Julia, what's her last name? But not quite. And this is a B5. No. Those would be hard to find. This is what I'm using for my morning pages. I have only used this much of it. This has been the first year. I do not write 3 pages and whatnot. I just write whatever I feel, junk it out, and then that's it. So I normally do my thing. So this is going to stay next year because, like I said, I've only used this much of it. And I have this much more to go. So this is staying. I like this. And the paper is Tomorrow River paper in that. This is my scripture writing. My scripture writing is in a square. Now this makes last year and then this year. So I have this much left of the book. So I'm probably just going to put this year's in. And then I'm going to change up. I'm not going to use a square anymore for the scripture writing. I think what I'm going to do is use this as the scripture writing. Go to a B5. And that's what I'm going to do, is do a B5 for my scripture writing. So that's what I'm going to change up to in that. So instead of a square, since I'm no longer using the B5s, and I'm not doing lettering and whatnot, that's what I'm going to do. I love the coffee logo too. So I think this is what I'm going to do for next year for scripture writing. Everything's going to come in here. So that'll be interesting. Now, as I said, this is the pull-a card. Yeah. This one, I've got it up to, this is going to be this whole year's worth right here. All right. What I'm thinking about doing is getting, thank you, it's true. I'm thinking of getting the Taurus one of the, and I can't think of the name of the journal, off of there, and then putting some of that, because it looks like it has plenty of papers, and I don't really need anything static like 160 GSM. Typhosi? Anyway, that journal, I'm thinking of getting a Taurus one and doing the pull-a card in that. The journals will stay A5. Oh, I, if you need to survive around me, you have to have me. I have to have coffee. I don't do well without coffee. So, this comes down to, I changed up. Now, originally, give me a second, verifying it. Yes, this was last year's bullet journal. As you see, I did a B5. And as you see, this felt the whole year. And I mean the whole year. And I did like 3 different things. I was doing a calendar differently. When did I change up? I decided that I kind of liked doing this better, because this was, I didn't like the line one as much. And then I did a 2-month spread, which I absolutely loved. This one I did it too much. I actually did a Dutch door because I was going to do Dutch doors. So there we go. This was 1 year's worth. So when I decided that I wanted to do Dutch doors, I knew I had to do 2. Which is, this was the first part of the year. This is, whoa. Okay. This is January through June. So, okay. And of course, this is July through December. So, my question is, do I do a square? And that means I'd have to have 3 squares. So there would be 4 months per book. Because I still want to do a Dutch door kind of deal. Kind of like the Dutch doors. It's one of those things. And that's why we were doing calculations to figure out how many pages do I need for each book for that month's worth. You know, we divided it out 2 and 3. That way there's like 4 months in one, 4 months in the next one, 4 months in the next one. So that's what it comes down to, is how, you know, do I do a square or do I do an A5? That's what it comes down to. And if I have to expand, I still have enough pages for each one. It is, and the way I'm looking at it is I'm looking at it as all of them being, maybe all of them. Now, if I'm not mistaken, all of these are, the squares are only 160 pages. Now, Typhosi has an A5 that is more than 192 pages. I think they're like 200 and something pages. And I thought, I could do 2 of those. Don't know if I really want to do 2 of those. I think I want to do the 333. So if I do this, I'm going to have 3 notebooks for next year. Now, I will not change the collection. The collection is going to stay the same. The collection is going to still be in a B5. This is my collections. I have plenty of space in here. Let's see here. Where is the ending of this one? Okay. Nope. That's how much I've used just for this year. So I have plenty. So I rather would do it in here, my collections, which is like the birthdays, the months, the future logs, things like that. That's going to stay in that. This is what I'm changing up. I'm going from this to either this or, don't you fall, because I'll be upset. This or, there's an A5 over oh, I know why I was using that. By the way, this one's going to be used as a new journal or an A5. So that's the thing. This is my new journal, by the way, once I finish that one. So that's off the thing. Though it's very funny that it's a... This is actually bamboo. This is 180 GSM bamboo paper. 160 pages. So, yeah, this was going to be the new journal once I finish that one. So, yeah. So, this is going to be the new journal that hopefully I go into next. So, yeah. How do I get pages assigned like this? They do it by edging. Not me. Edging. They have edging. But, yeah. Matter of fact, this book is the same as my pull-a card. I just realized that. Because it has 3 ribbons instead of it. Let's see if I can find this. Some orders. Should be easy to... Search orders. See if they pop up. Nope. All right, let's go back to orders. I think it was 2024. It wasn't 2024, it's 2025. Yeah. Here we go. This is what it was on, yeah. I got that one, and not that one, not that one, not that one. Not that one, not that one, not that one, not that one. But that's what I got. I don't know if they'll show up on yours, Cozy, but that's the one on mine. I thought, what the heck? So this is going to be my new journaling journal when I finish that one eventually. But so yeah, they do edging. I think that one's edged. So that's what's going on. Like I said, I'm debating whether it's going to be square or is it going to be A5. But I'm going to get 3 books. I most likely will get 3 books. I will not get 2 books. Does anybody have a you should do this. See, I could use these last 2, the Ghost and the Raven. But if I could find a square with a dragon on it, that would be my start. Because what it would be is, if I did this, if I did squares or A5s, doesn't matter. I would do 3. I still want to do the Dutch doors because I really am enjoying the Dutch doors because it's kind of fun trying to figure out what you're going to do. And then take this. Okay, so let's just say these 3 are my ones. This would be January through April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. That's how it would go. So instead of quarterly, it would be that. So we'd have 4 months in each book. Yeah, or the A5 would work for waterfall too. Yeah, I'm thinking about all these different things I'd like to do with some of this stuff. I'm like, ooh. Yeah. Mary's not doing so good. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking that would be perfect for October. I love this. You know, these kind of would work for if I did do square. I could do these. Now, mind you, I would love to get a dragon one if they had one. But yeah. So, and that would be replaced with a dragon. So, yeah. So this would be no. You're not getting them. So I could do that. And then this would be my thing for next year, which would be kind of cool, you know. You got gray, darker gray, black. Not bad. Gray, darker gray, black. That kind of cool. So that would be interesting because I'd have to figure out how I might have to redo the trackers. That's the word I'm looking for, trackers. Because it's not the same thing. So it'll be interesting to see what happens and how this happens. And it expands. Have to see. Because it's 37. And so that'll be interesting how this would work. So yeah, this could actually work. So I could just do these. And either or these, you know, like I said, any of these would work because I made sure that I had like 6 pages. And if I stayed with the same thing, I'm still questioning whether or not I keep the steps like this or I move it to the monthly. I haven't decided yet on how to do this. I haven't. Oh, Nadine's birthday. Ooh, glad I looked. Oops. Uh-oh. Need to put another one down. I almost forgot Nadine's birthday. Whoops. 21st? Yeah. Ooh. So that's one of the questions I'm having is, do I take this, excuse me, let's move this over here. If I take this and move the steps over to here and just write the steps out, because, you know, it's a big thing. Yeah, I know. But since I'm doing Dutch Doors dumpling, that's the reason why I have to do more than one. It won't fit in 1 year. I mean, as you see, this is July through June, and here's the pages left. There's nothing left to do the next year, you know, so that's why I'm doing 2. And the same thing. That's why when I did these figurizations, I figured out, okay, if I use 6 pages for the first part, which is this here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 pages. I want it to be even. I don't want it to, you know, you stop here and then your week start. That doesn't work very well. So I'm like, okay, if I use 6 pages, that's 12 months of 6 pages. That's 72. Then you've got the 2 pages for this. So that makes it 4 pages times 52. 52 weeks in a year. Calculate it up, and that's what you get is 140 page. You get 280 pages, but if you half it, it's 140. And most of these B5s do not come in anything but the most 160. The A5s come in 192. So as you see, you're not going to get enough. Unless, which, let me go double check myself here, because I will screw it up. I know me. Here we go. I'm looking at, what was the one for? 256 pages. And that's still not enough because it's 280 pages if you do that way. So you're looking at that. So that's the thing, is that whatever you use, you have to look at how many pages come in each one. And with that, you have to sit there and go, okay, well, I can only do so much. You know, if I was doing like, so I'd have to have 2 for those. So that's why I did calculations. As a matter of fact, I even did one that had 10 pages for the first part of the year, for the monthlies. So, I mean, you're looking at all that. So that's the thing. And it's nice to play in different areas and see what you could do. Because the B5s is pretty cool, you know. And it's a nice filler. I've learned things in here, like watercolor does not do very well. Wasn't very impressed with my watercolors. So, tried that, didn't like it. You know, but this is, I get to try different things in here. It's like this next month, I might try more than 2 pages of, because I got plenty of pages to play with. And I can sit here and go, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do. And so I get to play. So yeah, the whole thing of it is just working with it and figuring out what does go and what doesn't. But you got to do the calculations first, because let's just say I decided to do that, go for A5s, but I don't get enough of them. You see what I'm saying? I don't like breaking up my months. It's like when I start the new year, I want the new year only. I don't want any December in it. I don't want nothing. It's okay with the social media planner, but my bullet journals, So everything year. I don't want any January or stuff in it. I want that month. So that's what I'm kind of liking about this. And, you know, it's really nice. Let's see here. Yeah, because I didn't put that. Let's see here. And then in here, I added the extra day because I didn't want it over. So that's the whole thing. And that's why I do calculations. I try to do my calculations to make sure everything is working right. And so that's how I figured. And I figured this would be that. So, all right. So it's settled. I am doing, okay, I think I've settled. I'm going to do squares for next year. Something different. Pushes the creativity a little bit more. It'll be interesting to see what can and cannot be done. I can't wait to try these out. So, I think this is the setup. I'm not going to get any more square notebooks. I got these. This is perfect. Because the camera is kind of like your first, beginning of the first new year. I love the Raven. But like I said, if I can find a dragon one, my ass is getting the dragon. Y'all know that because this is the start of May, and May, you know, dragons is my setup. And of course, the ghosty for the last part. So I really love that. So I think I'm going to settle for this. The only thing I don't know is which one of these I'm going to be having to do. It's either the 6, the 8, or the 10. And news. All right. So that's what I've said. Okay. So we've settled. We're doing squares for this. Tomorrow I will put up the polls for October's Discord Hangouts. And I will make sure that everybody gets to vote. Dumpling, by the way, I heard from Chloe. She saw the post about Rum Rum and she was upset. She's been busy with her master's and internship. So she's doing well from what I saw. So, but there we go. This is week 38. Ooh, doo-doo. I love it. It's interesting doing 2 different things. So, English translation. That's an except the only problem with that square pages. No. No. That wouldn't work. Not for me. A square art book note journal. I don't care for the dragons. I'm particular when it comes to my dragons. No, she did not. No, she didn't give me any of that. She was very, because she just saw that Romeo passed, and she was apologetic because she knew Romeo too. So no. I didn't ask any more than that. I was kind of, not really with it. So, but I'll try to contact her again, see how she's doing and all that. Slowly getting things done. But there we go. This is my week 38. Any questions, comments, concerns? I already got dumplings list. Anybody else? Nope. Okay. That's a simple thing. All right. For her, I'll be sure to mention that to her, Dumpling. I'm going to call it. Thank you all for coming. It was great seeing everybody. Thanks for the raid, Dumpling. For those of you who are watching this on YouTube, Thank you for watching. Like the video. And until next time, I hope everybody is having a wonderful day.